Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing this yellow sunset look. So if you want to see how to achieve it, then just keep on watching. I'm going to go ahead and start by priming my face, and I'm using the Too Faced Hungover Good to Go moisturizer. I already applied moisturizer. This I just use it as a primer, and I like it because it has sunscreen as well. Gonna be applying that. And for my moisturizer, I used the Pond's cream, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the Pure 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. This I just like to apply it by my nose and under my eyes. I feel like it does a really good job in covering up the pores. Okay, now for eyebrows, I'm gonna go ahead and use the ColourPop pomade in the shade Take Me for Granted. And I'm gonna be using the NYX brush. It's okay if they're messy. Once we clean them up with concealer, they're gonna look a lot better. And then I like to go ahead and take my e.l.f. Ultra Precisely brow pencil and just kind of work from the beginning of the brow. Okay, so I did both brows already, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean them up using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer and the Morphe M421. Right now they do look a lot darker, but once I clean them up and once I add my foundation, it's just all gonna come together. And I'm dragging it down to my eyelid so that at the same time I can prime my eyelids for my eyeshadow. And if you like, you can add some to your lid. And I'm gonna go ahead and take a sponge and blend it out. I really love this e.l.f. concealer, but only to set my eyelids. It didn't work for me as an under eye concealer. I feel like it was too drying, but I do like it to clean and prime my eyelids. So I only clean the bottom of my eyebrow with the concealer. The top, I clean it with my foundation, but that I do whenever I'm applying my foundation. Also, I have like 2 eyelash extensions hanging onto their life, so that's why they look kind of weird, but I'm gonna put lashes over them and you won't be able to tell. Okay, so now that I am done prepping my eyelids, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing my eyeshadow. And today I think I'm gonna use the Daisy Marquez palette. This is what it looks like, and this is what it looks like from the inside. Mine's a little bit messy, but I love this palette because it just has so many colors that you can do so many looks, and as well as a cute vanity mirror like this. I'm gonna go ahead and use this color called Dulce as my transition shade, and I'm gonna take the Morphe GI17. So I haven't done YouTube videos in like 2-3 years, and it's because literally we didn't have internet, so I film my videos on my iPhone, so I would have to airdrop them to my sister, and she would have to airdrop them to my computer because it wouldn't let me directly airdrop them from my phone because I had the hotspot on. And so for uploading, it took literally days because again I was using my hotspot. So say that I wanted to film a video for Thanksgiving, I would have to film it like a week before, that way I could have it uploaded in time. So it was just too much, and then I got really busy with school and work. But now that we're under quarantine, I can't really do anything. I just decided to start uploading again. So hopefully I can upload a lot more videos. I have so many ideas that hopefully, you know, they go through. So we're gonna be just blending out the color like this. You can tell, just focusing it kind of on top of the crease because again, that's our transition shade. We're gonna move on, and I'm gonna take a smaller brush. This is just the Wet n Wild blending brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the yellow color in this palette called Flower. So the first eyeshadow, I did focus it a little bit by my brow bone, and I'm gonna take the Flower color and focus it on my crease. And this palette does have a lot of fallout, but that's okay. And again, I'm gonna focus it on the crease of my eye. I'm kind of patting it in there and then dragging at the same time. I'm gonna do sort of like a sunset summery look. That's what I'm going for. It's okay if it's not blended. We're just kind of focusing on placing it first. And then I'm gonna take whatever blending brush and I'm gonna go ahead and blend out the color. And I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the other eye. Just back and forth, not really blending it, but just placing it on there. And then I'm gonna take that same blending brush and blend out the yellow. So since this brush is two-sided, I'm gonna go ahead and use the flat part of the brush and place my eyelid color, which is gonna be this shade called Karma. It's like a dark orange. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add a neon orange as well. That way it won't be towards a red orange, but a bright orange. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the flat part of this brush and I'm gonna mix the Cleopatra color, which is like a neon yellow, and the shade Karma, which is a darker orange. And I'm gonna go ahead and place that on my eyelid. Again, I'm not blending it yet, I'm just placing it. Also, the reason why I decided to do videos again is because I love watching people do their makeup. Like literally, I have found so many new YouTubers and I just love watching them do their makeup. I think it's just so relaxing, and I love seeing like different products that they use or different techniques that they use. So I was like, you know, maybe people will enjoy watching me do my makeup. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna give it another try. and I was watching my old videos and I was like, you know what, like it kind of pushed me to like go ahead and do them again. Okay, so now that the color is added, I'm gonna go ahead and take the blending part of the brush and I'm gonna add a little bit of that yellow, which is this one right here called Flower. I'm gonna add a little bit, dust off the excess, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend out the orange with the yellow. And if you want, you can take a clean blending brush as well. Kind of start blending those two colors. So I'm gonna go back and forth between a clean blending brush and the blending brush that I added the yellow with, just so it can get a good blending. You can add more yellow so it can kind of peek through from the orange. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye. I also went ahead and put on my eyelashes. I don't know what the brand is because it came in a big pack, so I don't know what they're called, but I used this duo glue. It's terrible. I do not recommend it. It is very messy. But I'm gonna move on to my face, and I'm gonna be using the Beauty Creations Flawless Stay Foundation. This is in the shade FS 3.5, and I'm gonna use my Morphe sponge. And I'm almost out, as you can tell. I'm just gonna go ahead and pat that all over my face. What I like about this foundation is that it has a good amount of coverage, and it's not dewy, but it's not matte. So if you have dry and oily skin, you can use it, and you can just set it to your liking. So you can set it to be matte, or if you want more of a dewy finish, you can use a dewy setting spray, and it will have your skin looking really good. And a little goes a long way as well. Okay, so now to set my eyebrows at the top, or to clean them from the top, I'm gonna go ahead and take the straight edge and just dab a little bit of foundation, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean it like this. And there you go, and I'm just gonna drag it to the top of my forehead. I'm gonna go ahead and do concealer, and I'm gonna use the Kylie Cosmetics concealer in the shade Ivory. I really love this concealer because it doesn't really have a lot of coverage, but after I add my powders and everything, I have the coverage that I need. This one, like I said, I didn't like it. It does have a lot of coverage, but it just makes my under eyes look very dry. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add it like that. And I'm gonna take my Real Techniques blending sponge and blend it out. Okay, then I go back with my foundation sponge and just blend my concealer and my foundation together. Also, the only thing I don't like about this concealer is that the packaging, it leaks. So I always have to have it wrapped around in a napkin, because if not, it just makes a big mess. I'm gonna move on to baking under my eyes, and this is the powder that I use. It's the LA Girl Pro Powder in the shade Banana. And what I use is this tiny blending sponge. I feel like everybody needs tiny beauty blenders in their lives. They work really good and they're very useful. So I don't really contour my nose, but I still like to put some powder like this, just to kind of make it seem as if I did contour my nose. And then I just bring it under my eyes like that. And I just kind of tap it, but still leaving some product under my eyes, just so it can kind of set for a little bit. And then with the leftover product, I just go ahead and set my whole face. Okay, and I don't bake for too long because then my under eyes will look dry, but I like to take this big brush and just dust off the powder. And then with the leftover, I just again set my face. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and bronze and apply blush to my face. So for my bronzer, I'm gonna use the Essence bronzer brush, and I'm gonna use the Kylie Cosmetics bronzer in the shade Tequila Tan, and dust it off because it is kind of dark. With the leftover, I'm gonna go ahead and just do my forehead. Okay, there we go. And now I'm gonna move on to blush, and I'm gonna use the e.l.f. blush in Always Cheeky. I love this blush because it's literally so light. It's just like an everyday blush. And I'm gonna use a Real Techniques contour brush. And this one, since it's so light, you can just go ahead and, you know, build it up to the coverage that you need. Okay, and before I add my highlighter, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face. I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild Natural Setting Spray. For highlighter today, I'm gonna use the Kylie Cosmetics highlighter in Ice Me Out. I really love her products, but sometimes the packaging falls off, or like the product falls off. But I do recommend her bronzers, her blushes, her highlighters. They're very good. And I don't like to highlight as much as I did, so I just really just take a little bit. As you can see. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and finish my eye. I'm gonna take a tiny blending brush, and I'm gonna use that shade called Flower and put it on my lash line and kind of bring it upwards. And I'm gonna get a little bit of the shade Flower, just a little bit, so I can blend them together. Just like that. And I'm gonna do that on the other eye as well. To finish off my eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of this green. It's like a shimmery green called Slime. I'm gonna go ahead and take my finger and just add that to the inner corner. Like that. Or you can even use a brush. Go ahead and use a brush. And I'm gonna go ahead and spray a little bit of setting spray. Okay, that's way better. Okay, for lips, I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild lip pencil in the shade Vin Brandy, I think, and the Milani in Matte Innocence. Thank you guys for watching my video and joining me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also I want you guys to comment down below what kind of videos you would like to see. If you would like to see more English videos or Spanish videos as well, or like makeup collection, eyeshadow collection, just any ideas, comment down below.